Good evening, everyone, and welcome to day 439, Monday, May the 8th, 2023, 9:02 p.m. Eastern, 4:02 a.m. in Ukraine. And we are now officially into Victory Day for Moscow. It is no longer Victory Day for Ukraine. That has been canceled by Zelensky. That corresponding holiday is over. And as I've shared with you guys, Victory Day, the number one day on the Russian calendar for celebrating their patriotism. So tomorrow, now if you're in Europe or you're in Australia, you're already in the 9th. Here in the United States, we're still in the 8th. Tomorrow, Tuesday, we will be doing a special stream to update on Victory Day. Today is a shorter stream. I've got Zhenya with me tonight. We will not have him tomorrow, but I'm going to have as much of Vladimir Putin translated as I can and get clarity on what is happening. But tonight we have him. We're on a shorter basis tonight due to some issues that we both have as we're getting older, but I'll roll him in here now and say, welcome.
Well, thank you.
Well, it's the
Good
truth.
evening.
Before we jump in, thank you for being here. Thank you for commenting, liking, subscribing, Patreon, everything that you do, giving. And if you don't mind, jump in there and hit the donate button even more. We've got to help pay for this man's surgery. And so you're in Kiev, and tomorrow you will be going into major shoulder surgery. You've had shoulder issues, but we had some issues in the winter driving in Ukraine, and we bumped ourselves a few times, and I think it was aggravated. And tomorrow you're having pretty major shoulder surgery there on Victory Day.
Yeah.
They will a little
bit fix it.
Yeah.
Huh?
Show everybody your 2 arms.
No one.
Come on. So he had pre-op today, and you can see the right arm and all that shade. So anyway, it's pretty significant. It's going to be 3 anchors, the torn labrum, and the other issues going on in there. It will not affect our work. Our team still rolls, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nonstop. Every day we do different missions, helping, including today we're helping by fixing the car, and we do it every day, do some work.
Yeah.
So
so when you're donating and giving
right now,
you're exactly it's happening right now. You're not, giving to us. You're giving to the organization, and it runs nonstop. And of course, our secure link through our church here, Pennsylvania. I today was in the doctor. I'm going to be in the doctor multiple times this week. So this is, I can't let you outdo me. So I had a procedure today. It looks like I've got a spot right here that may be cancerous. We'll know here in a couple of days. I've had one cut out. I grew up in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and got a lot of sun as a kid and playing a lot of golf. And so I've got the hat on. I've been in the doctor all day. You've been in the doctor, and we're approaching Victory Day. But we're warriors, man. We don't give up. So let's jump in, and we'll wish you well at the end of the update tonight as well. Let's start here tonight, speaking about medical. I'm in a hospital facility today. You're in a hospital. You're going to be there early here in a few hours getting surgery. To this moment, Russia's destroyed 177 medical facilities, which is actually hospitals. 1,433 are damaged, like clinics and hospitals throughout Ukraine. And this is directly from Minister of Health, Sergei Dubrov. It's crazy, the attack on the civilian population. This is terrorism. And today, you prepping for surgery there in Kiev in the morning made me look this up and bring it to everybody's attention. It's terror.
Mm-hmm. It's terror, and I think it's important to remind it and to share what's going on, because people in the world, they have a twisted picture of what's going on in Ukraine. This is not a conflict. This is a war, and this is not a war when aggressor attacking just the military facilities. No,
No, a majority of the targets are civilian. In fact, we're going to show that over the update tonight. But today, we're going to show video here in a moment. Today, they're dancing in Rome. They're dancing in Barcelona. They're dancing in Germany. They'll be dancing all over Russia tomorrow for Victory Day. And just think about these celebrations, but this is the reality. This is what's happening. And the world needs to be reminded of that. It's a ridiculous tragedy. And tomorrow, Russia's going to get a lot of publicity for Victory Day. So if you're watching this stream tonight or you're watching this on May the 9th, many people watch it the next day. This is what's being celebrated on Victory Day. 177 hospitals destroyed, 1,433 damaged. Now, with that said, there's a couple of places we need not forget because I have the opinion, I'll get your opinion on it. It's finally getting dry. Let me go here first. It's finally getting dry. Ukraine has received what they're going to receive. That's 98%. We've been told that a week ago. Mm-hmm. Russia doing whatever they do. We've seen, Bakhmut, Wagner was leaving, then they were supplied. They were already supplied, and now they're staying, and now here come the Chechens to Bakhmut. We don't know what to update on Bakhmut tonight. We were preparing before the stream. We don't know. We can tell you there's a horrible war going on in Bakhmut for the last few kilometers of that. We know that Avdiivka is terrible. We know that Ugledar is terrible. We know that Kherson. We know that Ukraine is pushing back out of Kharkiv. We know that Ukraine is pushing back across the Dnipro River down in the Kherson area. There's a war going on. But as far as showing a map tonight, moving a line, there's no lines to move right now. We don't have validation on anything. But what we do know is it's getting dry. And I believe the war over the next month, over the summer, is going to be very, very ugly. And tomorrow, this Victory Day is going to set the tone for it, I believe.
Yeah, and from both sides, it was mentioned a few times. And for Russia, as a lot of this kind of countries' leaders, they like dates, like 9 of May. Mm-hmm. And so we are in preparation of protecting and fighting for protecting our sky these days. And other side, our guys were preparing. Thanks to all the partners countries, UK, Germany, and United States. Our guys already got back. A lot of them are prepared. Our military guys prepared by NATO standards, and they are ready. They're waiting for the proper time. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. We'll wait. We'll see next month.
We will. And I've been on this. You've been on this as a Ukrainian. We appreciate all of the rah-rah things, and that's what it should be, to encourage Ukrainian citizens. You definitely don't want to be in the sad department, but the reality is it's going to be ugly here for the next few months as this war wiggles out, because it's coming to a head, especially with this Victory Day. That we'll see. There's nothing to talk about right now. We'll look at it in just a second, but tomorrow we're gonna see if missiles rain down on Ukraine during the night or on the 9th. We don't know, but we do know they're prepared. You're prepared for it. Mm-hmm. Lots of warnings have went out. Pay attention. Da 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 da. So as we're preparing and seeing what's ahead, yeah.
Right now, right this moment, 4 explosions in Kharkiv. Right in this moment. It was an attack from Russian side. They are trying to show.
Yeah, it could be an interesting evening. With that said, and we don't know, but what we do know is we can't forget places like Mariupol. So got a video I'm going to show you. Zhenya, I'll get your response on it. many thousands of people were killed in Mariupol. That's a fact. Nobody knows the exact number. Many thousands. And Mariupol under occupation, completely controlled by Russia, of course. But do not think that the Ukrainians that are trapped there are giving up. So tomorrow, you're going to see this parade, this pageantry of this victory day. But there was a guy down in Mariupol today having his own victory day, but he was waving a different flag. Now, I'm going to tell you what, this guy's bold. This guy is bold. I hope he's still alive. I hope he's still alive. Here you go. The bottom left says Mariupol Sprotiv. And the guy is out with his flag. Now, that's dangerous to do, bud.
They're claiming, they showing their position. And if you will check the facts, when Russia occupied Kherson, they were telling, lying to all the world that Kherson people are so happy to have them there. But when our guys got back, then you can see the real picture.
That's right.
I mean, just check both videos. It's nothing. I mean, you it's not necessary to be like a rocket scientist
no
to see the difference.
No, not at all. And we've been there and we'll continue to be there. But Mariupol, they're going to have their little celebration tomorrow that's all fake and staged and all this, but you can see that's a Ukrainian under the occupation out waving his flag today. So many kudos to that guy. Another region I do not want us to forget as we get ready to move past the second victory day that has happened during this war, and that is Transnistria. We've talked about this area the entire war. Ukraine has to put their soldiers on the border. Of course, that red zone there is the Transnistria, where there have and are 1,600 Russian soldiers. But Tiraspol put out a message saying, we need more troops. We're concerned about a provocation. So this was today. It's very close to Odessa. In fact, that's not far from your house there in Khmelnytsky. We usually drive down there in just a few hours, and we're in Moldova. These are very close areas, but could be the place of provocation or further distraction as we're moving into the war. So we need to keep our eyes on Transnistria region there. I want to talk about Kiev. So right now you're in Kiev and your surgery's in Kiev in the morning. But last night, Vitaly Klitschko, the mayor of Kiev, said that it was the number one night since the war began of the most attacks on Kiev. I have this image here. That's actually Shahid damage. But Kiev's air defense took down, was it everything? Or did some get through?
Yeah. As I know, they took everything. Some results, it was a result of
deflection.
Already shipped down. Yeah. But it nothing targeted like at the place they wanted. So everything was like destroyed in the air somehow.
And we were talking before the stream, there have been targets over the last few days, possible places like the Ukrainian Parliament building and others that would be very, it would be like our Capitol building being hit here in Washington, D.C., or when the terrorist attack hit our Pentagon and World Trade Centers in 9/11. It would be madness, but we're hearing these places were targeted and the missiles were taken out. But even when these air defenses deflect, in fact, take a look at this. I'll show this and talk over it. Listen to the Shahid. Sounds like a Cessna little airplane. That's a Shaheed. This is Kiev. You'll see the air defense going up. They'll get a hit here in a second. There. It's looking like something we would see out of Israel. There we go. Now, see the fall? You can see where it falls down. So this is actually where a lot of that damage is coming from. There was no direct hits. Kiev protected completely.
And people may ask, like, so how it's happening? So is it the fault of like Ukrainian air defense? No, our guys protecting the Kiev, protecting people, and we have absolutely that understanding, that picture, that they targeting and they're trying to hit and destroy and kill as much Ukrainians. So this is what our army do. Please, guys, go to the bomb shelters, be safe there. Let us work with this, protect your city. And we see results, like everybody, in Kiev, there is wounded people, but everyone survived. Yeah, there is some damages, but we don't know how bad it could be.
The other thing that we have to pay attention to is Ukraine has a limited supply of air defense weapons. So,
yes,
they're putting these Shaheeds in the air, which I remind you cost about $10,000 to make. It's nothing. It's pennies. And now today, information coming out that Russia may put a Shaheed factory in Belarus to create their own faster, with Iranian technicals and oversight. We don't know, but this is what's happening. But you can see apartments here. Here's a video inside of that apartment right there. And this is why people have to go to the shelters, because it may be a deflection and not a direct hit, but there's still damage and death that happens every time there's an air attack. This is the inside of that apartment looking out. And you can see it's destroyed. And I just remind you, that's not a direct hit, as Zhenya said. That's a deflectionary hit. No matter what you say, when missiles are flying and drones are flying overhead, it's extremely dangerous. You were telling me Pavel Ivanovich, our 92-year-old Soviet legend, Bandera, Ukrainian hero, he was up. He couldn't sleep. It was so loud in Kiev, and he was counting.
Yeah, he counted six explosions. He hurt himself, and one was real close to him. And my relatives couldn't sleep that area. In that area, this area where I'm at, sorry, I was so tired. I was off. Out. I was out. Sorry.
You slept through the explosions. Just tell the truth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think I went out before.
Here's the other thing that people don't realize. As much as you're on the front lines, you kind of get used to the explosion sound, to be honest. And it's not as alarming because you're used to hearing it every day. So it's a little different scenario there for people that are hearing it every day.
Yeah.
Odessa, I want to look at Odessa. If you want to talk about, now Odessa was hit directly. That was a Red Cross humanitarian aid warehouse. It was completely full of supplies. Of course, we could talk about a different topic there, but we won't. I wish it was empty and everything was given away, but it was full.
Yeah.
And it's completely destroyed. So whether you look at the hospitals, the deflectionary hits of people's apartments in Kiev, or a direct strike with a missile, it's not a drone there. That's a missile hit on Odessa, taking out, I'm assuming, probably one of the largest humanitarian aid warehouses there. It was massive. I can't remember how many square meters, but it was massive. This is what you're dealing with every day.
Yeah, and guess how much news channels, the world news channels, will post it like this: that Russians destroying humanitarian centers.
Mm-hmm.
Like the fact.
I
It's easy
listen,
to check the fact.
bro. I check it, as you know, every day. I don't get my um I get my information from inside Ukraine. But if you want to play the game for a second, we
Let's.
can go here. Al Jazeera, Israel, Russia targets Central Asians to serve in the war to help them. It's from the UK. Sudan, nothing. All right, let's jump over to BBC News. Texas shooting. Oh, here we go. Okay, BBC, thank you.
Okay.
Here we go.
BBC, thank you.
Hey, we give credit where credit's due. That's why I tell people to, if you're an American, do not read American media. I don't. Um, Russia launches biggest kamikaze drone attack. All right, let's go. BBC. Let's go to the United States. Texas. Joe Biden eating ice cream. Crashes. Hilton Hotel. Football player.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. King Charles. Sorry. That would be nothing. Let's go CNN. Left side.
Mm-hmm.
Homeless. King Charles. Jamie Foxx. Oh, here we go. Russian oligarch criticizes terrible war in Ukraine. Live updates. You click here. Parts of Russian installed administration left Skadovsk. We knew that. Kremlin-backed officials Mariupol mobilizing citizens. There's that. All right, CNN, go ahead. So a little bit, but nothing on the front page major. We're thankful for what we do have, but the world needs to know more and more and more. Now, with the world knowing more and more, nobody's seeing this. We're now into Victory Day. We're not there in the U.S. yet. We're on the 8th still, but the 9th where you're at. Last thing I want to talk about tonight, and we'll get you rested and wish you well for your surgery, and that is this. May 9th, Victory Day. There will be the parade in Moscow. There'll be in other cities and all this. Let's forget the other cities. Let's just talk Moscow. That's where Putin will be.
Mm-hmm.
He will give a speech, whether it's through a camera or out on the public. I don't know. I would think privately, but we'll see. I think they may be a little nervous. Lukashenko, of course, will be there for Belarus. And then the presidents and or prime ministers of Armenia, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and Kazakhstan will be there to celebrate Victory Day in Moscow. We'll see what happens. There'll be the parade of the tanks and the military, and the soldiers walk by saluting, and there'll be dancing and singing and a speech. And we will be here tomorrow night. I'm going to get what I can of Putin's words or anything else that unfolds during Victory Day, positively or negatively, and have a small update tomorrow night, which we typically Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, but we'll have that for Tuesday night. Now, while the world is preparing, and we looked at what was on local news sites currently, this is what's happening in, this one is Barcelona. All right, that's Barcelona. Here's Germany. So we can tell you that's happening. It's also in Rome or Yeah, Rome, Italy. We'll see.
Madrid, Barcelona. I think a lot of places, a lot of countries had it today, and tomorrow they will continue.
Oh yeah, tomorrow will be the big
But
one. They'll be dancing in the streets. The point being, though,
yeah,
the world's not seeing any of
but
that. These guys are dancing in the streets, and Ukrainians, homes, warehouses, hospitals, schools are being destroyed systematically. Places like Bakhmut are being melted to the ground with phosphorus munitions, incendiary munitions. The war is getting ready to crank up, and many people today and tomorrow will be dancing in the streets. That's a
yeah,
problem.
so they are dancing and they celebrating today of victory over what? Nazism in Europe. And what their country doing right in this minute, sending missiles to Kharkiv, already 7 there.
Hold on. We were at 4,
Right
now
in
we're at
this
7.
moment, yeah, and now in Dnipro there is explosions. This is what real face. The Russian flag represents country who's showing you the flag and with the one arm and with the other arm taking the knife on a gun or something like this. And and we had this saying, not like a saying, but yeah, it was like that when it comes to, it was like symbolical when it comes to the World War II. We were saying all the time, never again,
Mm-hmm.
never again, never again. Now Russia changed it. We can repeat, we can
Mm-hmm.
repeat, and by they twisting the story, and they are aggressors. They are using prisoners to kill Ukrainians, hiring it not by some private company already, but official Russian military defense officers. It's easy to check, and this country using criminals for yeah, to reach the goal of politic of Russia. And we need to think about that picture. And tomorrow and this night and the next days, uh, we will see. But what is important for the whole world to share. This is the one side of pictures and real every time until Russia will stop, until Russia will take responsibility. I mean, by Russia, I mean all the Russian people who has a Russian passport will take responsibility for their aggression. Until that, Russian flag represents aggression, represents for us, for Ukrainians, Nazism, because
And
they say
terrorism.
they claiming and terrorism. Ukrainian nation should be dissolved because there is no Ukrainian nation. They're faking, and so on. So you have, please, dear people, check the facts
Mm-hmm.
and share it.
And that's why
And
we're here
if
tonight.
every person now, yeah, every person now, easy to check everything. It's terrible for me. Like I'm realizing that Ukrainian government almost does nothing in English. It's so embarrassing that there is no so much like English channels. I mean, like channels in English from Ukraine, official Ukrainian like sources, and so that's good. That there is, let's say, others, but Russia puts a lot of money in that. They This is why they are reaching sometimes much more countries with the fake information, with the false, with the lie.
Well, it's why people are
So
dancing in the streets, whether it be in Europe or Africa or other nations around the world, because that's what they're fed and they know it. And that Kremlin propaganda machine, they're the best. They're the best. Um, and we have to counteract it. So that's why we're here. So we're here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We'll be here tomorrow night because it's Victory Day. We'll see what Putin says. I'll get it translated. I've already got my guys in Ukraine ready to go. I said, guys, no translations today, but tomorrow I'm going to kill you. So they're ready to go. I said, get a good night's sleep, and we're going to get as much translated from whatever we can find tomorrow. And as you say, it's already pushing there now in Ukraine time, and missiles are raining down. Just a few minutes ago, it was 4 hitting Kharkiv, and now it's 7, and now Dnipro, and it will continue.
7.
It will continue. So,
and looks like it's not confirmed yet, but looks like first that S-300 they used for Dnipro. And you don't remember Pavlograd.
No Pavlograd well.
This is S-300.
I know. And what he's referring to there, you can go back in some of our former streams, and Zhenya and I were one of the first ones on the scene in S-300 strike, and it's unbelievable devastation. So that's where we're at, and we'll be on it. We'll be back tomorrow night. I'll be back. He'll be recovering with an update on Victory Day. But look, listen, folks, pay attention over the next 24 hours because it could get a little spicy on both sides. I don't rule out Ukraine making some statements aggressively on the 9th as well, because they need to. And we'll see what happens. But, buddy, rest well. You've got a few hours of sleep, and then you're off to the operating room. So from everybody here and all the community, and I know people will be in the chat, we wish you well, be praying for you, and get that shoulder fixed. We got stuff to do.
Yeah.
We got to go flip some more vehicles, baby. Let's go. We will.
Yeah.
All right,
we will.
And
they hit Zaporizhia.
They're hitting Zaporizhia now?
Zaporizhia right now. Yeah. And looks like, as well, not confirmed, but they're saying that some sources that it could be Iskanders.
So look at here. So while we've been talking, Kharkiv has been hit. Was 4, now 7, and then Dnipro here, and Zaporizhia here. And I just remind you, folks, these are massive cities. These are not little villages. These are really, really, really big cities. We'll see. All we can do is stay focused, stay in tune, do our part. Thank you guys for helping us share the truth. We're telling the truth in English and sharing all we can. And it's going to be an interesting night. I'll be probably up late watching. So, my man, be blessed, get some rest, and keep me posted on your surgery tomorrow. I'll call Pavel Ivanovich and get an update.
Thank you for helping and staying with Ukraine.
Do peremoga. Until victory. Thank you, guys. Be blessed. Continue to do all your part, liking, subscribing, giving, Patreon, and everything. Together, we're making a difference. We'll see you tomorrow night. See what unfolds. I think it's going to be a busy 24 hours. Be blessed, and we'll see you soon. Good night, bud.
Good night. Heart from Ukraine.
That's right.